Hey, it's time for another cozy catch up. I am so grateful that you're here. I feel like there is so much to catch up on, like so much has happened in the past 4 weeks, and I feel like it's flown by. I hope you're well. I hope that you are just feeling so good about yourself this year, and even if you've had ups and downs along the way, I'm so grateful that we could spend this time together. I have some great news. Return Home, my latest single, is out now. You can stream it if you haven't already on any of your favorite streaming platforms, and I'll even put a link below. It's honestly a song that just feel like it's a long time coming, you know, and I feel like it definitely grounds me and continues to just bring so much love and light and hope into my life, and I hope that it does the same for you. I honestly love reading and hearing your comments, and especially when I sing it live, I love how it makes people feel and the room feel. So honestly, just like really grateful. Grateful to be here now, to be honest. I also did a live session on BBC Radio London. I know, I had a session and got to catch up with Jacqueline Shepherd about, you know, traveling in the past 2 years since I released my last EP, and how I'm really in a season of just being myself and enjoying those authentic connections that I'm making with people, with friends, reconnecting with London and who I am and who I want to continue to be. It's a journey for real. Anyone who's, you know, on their own healing journey, I'm there with you, and I'm just really grateful and excited to share that with you. If you stay like tuned into this, you can watch some of the interview and come behind the scenes, BBC Radio. And yeah, I booked another commercial. This one is with Warner Brothers. I can't say too much more, but it's to do with wizards. Honestly, I'm just like in a season of leaning into gratefulness and leaning into, do you know what? I really do deserve all the great things that are happening. It's not happened randomly, you know, it's to do with consistency and patience and persistence and prayer and diligence and hard work and letting go and focusing again and discipline and all of those good stuff. And I'm learning to really open up to more joy and to really open up more space in myself and in my circles. Just like, we deserve to celebrate ourselves, and if we continue to lean into more abundance, then more things can be attracted to us. So I'm really in that season, and you know, the past 4 weeks has been like an incredible testament to that. I'm also in like a better space and in more confident with saying no to opportunities that I feel like I don't align with. And don't get me wrong, it's really tough, you know. I'm someone who definitely is in a practice now, a lifestyle of saying yes. You know, I read Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes, and that book, if you haven't read it before or seen her TED Talk, honestly, it changed my life. I also feel like there's another side of things, and she also mentioned it as well, where it's just never easy to stay true to yourself. And I'm not perfect, but I believe that the more you say yes to things that you align with and align with your like higher self, you know, that vision of yourself that you see, and really do believe in your gut that in your dream life it could be possible. Obviously let go of pride as well, and to really come back into the grateful, you know, into gratefulness in the present moment. Like, yes, I do want to be there one day, however, I'm here now, and in order to get there I need to take this step. You know, sometimes I definitely experience, you know, a real humbling where I have to really practice letting go of pride and accepting where I am now and being on that journey for real. But you know, it also comes to some points, and I've had them at really specific points in my life where I've needed to say no to things because those opportunities no longer align with who you're becoming. And that takes guts, and that takes faith that on the other side of that, you know, if one door closes, another door opens, and, you know, really trusting that your time, your energy, your resources have value and they're precious. And, you know, I think we should continue to, for me anyway, I'm on this journey right now, saying yes and saying no to things. I'm really discerning between them both, and really trusting my own boundaries and trusting my gut with things, and not letting anyone else define that for me. I think that's the gift of being an independent artist, where you are able to take creative ownership over these decisions, and to practice, for me, using my voice and using my intuition and using my agency to be able to speak my truth and stand in my power and in my grace as well. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm learning definitely along the way. And I think I'm also learning to, you know, with every setback, when I'm like, no, I should have taken that, or oh, did I make a mistake? And then I start overthinking. I think it's then like, do you know what? I'm really proud of myself for even grappling with this and not just being like, oh, you take control, you take control of my career, or even like, it doesn't even need to be on that scale in like your creative world, but even in like, you know, with friendships or with family, and those little like negotiations that you have in those times where you're like, oh, should I go to this event, or should I go to this party, or should I go to this should I show up for this, or should I go and work out, or should I have this meal, or should I, you know, treat myself? And all of those little things, I think I'm learning to, or have been definitely on a journey of kind of understanding, okay, what does my higher self look like, feel like? What does she eat? What does she wear? What does she where is she? Who is she surrounding herself with? What are the kind of conversations that she's having? And that kind of practice and that visualization has really helped me over the past like 5 years to get to where I am now. And I always sometimes feel like a baby at things, and I'm like, oh, I'm just at the beginning. But I think I need to give myself more credit for how far I've come, and also, you know, practice that humility. Like, there's still so far to go, thankfully. You know, there's still more dreams to be dreamt, and there's still more experiences to have. And I'm really kind of definitely in that season. You know, and you can't skip steps as well. Sure, you can take the elevator, but I feel like sometimes I've done that and I've then been in rooms and felt a bit like I'm just gonna, like, I got a bit more work to do, and that's okay. I'm learning to just be okay with it all, to be honest with you. Next steps, so I'm gonna start driving, start my very first lessons. I've never been on the like driving side before, so I'm actually, do you know, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just taking this next step of independence, and I can't wait to kind of go on some road trips and yeah, like play music in the car, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So I'll keep you updated with that. And you know, I'm ready to jump back into the studio and to finish my EP. I'm really looking forward to kind of taking you behind the scenes and showing you my process of how I create music, and my collaborators for this project, and, you know, the songwriting process, and how I love seeing, you know, projects as a whole. And, you know, my background's in theatre, so I'm thinking constantly about how music translates to stage, and like how to bring the music to life in performances. And I'm really looking forward to kind of taking you behind the scenes of that process. But for now, I hope that we can continue to grow together, to value ourselves, to trust ourselves, to really understand our boundaries, to keep saying yes to things that align with us, and being brave enough to say no to things that maybe don't align with us anymore, and to keep trusting that, you know, when one door closes, another door opens. And I feel like I'm on the other side of this month having practiced that, so I just felt like I wanted to share that here today. I don't take your time for granted. Please subscribe if you want to continue to see more vlogs, music videos, and behind the scenes content. Sign up to my newsletter at vickypasion.com, and if you're not already, follow me on socials. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you. So this is my BBC Live in London interview. I hope you love it, and I can't wait to hear from you.
Dreamy, very dreamy stuff. That was Let Go, Vicky Pasion, and Vicky is this week's Live in London guest. She joins me in the studio right now. How you doing, Vicky?
I'm so good. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
What a gorgeous song that we just played of yours, gorgeous voice. Tell us about the production of that, because it felt almost, I said dreamy, and there's something really special about the production of that track. What can you tell us about it?
It was actually inspired by nature, so you can hear kind of waterfalls, and I was just really in a kind of space where I wanted to dream and I wanted to let go, and had to feel like I wanted to kind of let go of my past lives. And a lot of kind of chimes, and inspired kind of by R&B, soul.
Tell us about some of the R&B influences that were coming through there, because I have in my mind what I was hearing, but tell us about some of the influences, maybe the artists, if there were some, that have informed what we were hearing there.
Well, I grew up on like big power divas like Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Sade. And actually this project, Soulstar, I leaned into a more kind of relaxed, chill sound. So I was inspired by like Sinead Harnett, Ravina, Janae Aiko, a lot more kind of soulful singers, but not so like pushed. And so that's been nice to even just kind of like lean into my feminine a bit more.
Yeah, I love that. I was hearing a little bit of Aaliyah in there as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's where my mind was going. Okay, so what an interesting time you've had. We actually spoke on this station about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago now. So how has your music career been in the last couple of years? I know that you've had a busy time. Tell us more.
Yeah, thank you. So after that project Soulstar, I was supported again by the Mobos and Help Musicians to create this next project that I'm working on now. I've been on tour. I've been traveling a lot around LA, New York, Toronto, just songwriting and experiencing more of life and collaborating with different producers and writers. I've had a really, really incredible time and feel like it was time for me to return home, hence my next track. And it's been amazing. I'm very grateful to be here now. I think it's like definitely taken a lot of experience, a lot of life lessons. I feel like I've grown more into myself, and I think I've just definitely let go of this need to almost like perform all the time and just relax more into being like, actually who I am is more than enough, and I find like I'm just a lot more comfortable in my own skin.
That's a message right there. And you mentioned about being supported by the Mobos. So tell us how that works, how they support you and how they help to bring your project to life.
Yeah, so I'm an independent artist, and in order to get things going, you need some funds, and they have a fund called Mobo Help Musicians. They've been an incredible charity that have helped me on 2 of my projects now, and to kind of get me into the right rooms, different studios, to collaborate with producers and writers that I want to work with, and they've been an incredible help to support me to get me where I am now.
Yeah, okay. And you mentioned travelling and returning home, and Camden is home. So just talk about Camden, what that does, because it's got such a rich music history, hasn't it? Tell us about how Camden has been, what sort of impact Camden has had on you as a musical artist?
Well, of course, Amy Winehouse is from Camden. I think just wandering around, I'm very streetwise, I feel, kind of walking to and from school, growing up. There's always just like an influx of energy around and different cultures, and I find like I've noticed that a lot more, especially since I've been away and then I've come back. I'm like, wow, London's amazing, and I feel like it's such a cultural hub, especially when I started writing my own music at the Roundhouse in Camden. I think it's definitely been a space where I've just felt like I could just be myself and not feel judged or anything. Yeah, it's really cool.
And you also talked about the travelling. So where were some of those places that you went? And I guess being out of, let's say, your comfort zone of Camden, of home, what was that like? And what did that do for your music writing?
Definitely stretched me. I've you know, when you're in a different place, I feel like you're able to just come out of your shell a little bit more, and I found that massively, especially with people that I met and friends. It's helped me to connect with people in a way that I could just be myself and kind of pick up different experiences and memories along the way. I think home is has a lot of connotations for me. I have grown up in Camden, and I was in foster care when I was young for a little bit, so I think this sense of belonging or this sense of connection has definitely been a thing that I've been searching for, and then realised that actually instead of looking outwards and having to always feel like I need to travel away, actually home can be right where you are, as long as you kind of just connect with yourself. And it can be places, it can be people that feel familiar. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, well, that's, again, a message. Love that. So you mentioned live performances, and I know that you love performing live. I wonder if there is anywhere in this city that you particularly have enjoyed performing. Is there a stage that you cannot wait to return to, or perhaps one that you aspire to be on?
Yeah, when I started performing live for my first ever EP, I performed at the O2 Academy in Islington, so that would be really cool to go back there and almost have a deja vu moment. But yeah, the Jazz Cafe in Camden or Coco in Camden would definitely be an incredible space to perform in. I think since I've just walked up and down those roads, it would be amazing to be yeah, come see me here.
Okay, so we're going to hear Return Home, and you've already mentioned about the reason, it felt good, it was time to return home. So what can you tell us about this track that we're going to hear you perform live in a moment?
Yeah, so I was songwriting last year in LA. I met a producer, Corey Keys, and he just played a few chords. He's worked with Sam Smith, Tori Kelly, and I was just humming along to this track. It felt very cinematic, very soulful, and naturally we just came up with the track in a couple of hours, arranged by Keogh Briggs, and then it wasn't finished. I felt like I needed to literally come back home, and then I finished off the vocals and finished off writing it at Spotify Studios here in Metropolis, studios in London, and it's been an incredible journey because that took a couple of months to then finish it, and then mix and masters by Rob Stevens, engineered by Juan, just really cool people that I felt safe to open up to and be vulnerable with, and could understand me creatively. And I think that's so important in my journey. I felt like the music sounds authentic and feels like me if you do have a great team around you. So yeah, and it just comes from my heart. It's a song that I feel like if ever I'm feeling a bit disconnected, I can come back to it and come home to myself.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to take a sip of water, if you would like to, but here we are. It is BBC Radio London, and it is Wednesday night, and it means that it is time for our Live in London performance. I've got Vicky Pasion with me, and she is going to perform her track, Return Home. So here it is, this week's Live in London. goodness. That was absolutely stunning. Vicky Pasion this week's live in London, and that was a stunning performance of Return Home. Oh my goodness, those big notes that you held for... I actually held my chest. Do you get nervous when you know you're going to perform a big note like that, or not, because it's just what you do?
I think I get nervous beforehand, or I know I get nervous beforehand, but in the moment it's almost like it's something I really enjoy, and it actually helps me to stop thinking. I think I'm an overthinker, so when I do sing, it's almost like an art form that I do feel like I let go.
Yeah, and I can only begin to imagine that must have felt like some sort of release as well. Would I be right in thinking that?
Definitely.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, if you enjoyed that and you want to hear more from Vicky Pasion, and her surname spelled with one S, Pasion, then, make sure that you follow her on socials. Vicky, where are the best places to find you?
Yeah,
Stream your music. Go for it.
I'm on Instagram, TikTok, all of your favourite social media platforms, Vicky Pasion, Vicky, and Pasion, Pasion, and Spotify, Apple Music, or your favourite streaming platform. Yeah, I've got an EP coming out later this year, and going on tour, so would love to see you there.
Yeah, have you got some London dates that you can tell us about, or do we...
Not yet.
Okay, going to watch this space, Well, let us know when your London dates have been announced, and we can let the people know, because that was stunning. Vicky, thank you so much for being this week's Live in London guest. You were fabulous.
Thank you so much.
My goodness, my phone's out there, and I wish it was here, because I would love to have taken a picture of you there. But we'll take some around the corner. And that was gorgeous. Well done.
Thank you for watching. I don't take this time for granted. I'm so excited to share next month's vlog with you as you come behind the scenes of my studio sessions, finishing my EP. Maybe I'll take you, on some of my driving lessons. I'm choosing to be excited. Low-key, I'm nervous, but yeah, I'm grateful to be growing, grateful to be on this journey with you. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of this month, going into March 2025. We deserve so much love, so much joy, so much laughter. I love you guys.